Okay, Leo, this is for you. You've been waiting for this, I know. This is Tarot Lumination with your August 2017 Love and Relationship Report. Okay, so let's make the best of this. See what we got. Now, the cards are already pre-shuffled well in advance, but we're going to do it right up to the very last second while I get you in the mood. Please, of course, read for your sun, your moon, your rising. That's what we do here on Tarot. And also, it would help if you watch the introduction video for the whole playlist for love and relationship. Okay? It'll help you understand the spread better. If not, then I'll just, quickly, the idea is that we are dealing with relationships that are chosen, hopefully, that have some significance, some kind of momentum. Now, if you want to, you can read this for singles as well, because either way, you're radiating the energy of relationship. You might not be actively conducting, but what goes out there comes right back at you. So, laws of attraction and all that stuff. So it might be interesting to observe anyway, just to see what might be coming at you, even if it's happening on the spiritual plane and it has not manifested yet. But primarily this is for people who are in some degree of relationship, right up to full-on, 20-year marriages or living together for a few months, something like that, where there's some degree of, let's say, investment, okay? Of course, it can be for dating too, but, we can't, I don't know, I guess we could try to cover as many people as possible, but if this doesn't sound right for you, then just watch for the sun, moon, and rising and see if that mushes together better, okay? So with the crucible type structure that we're going to do, it's on the understanding that a crucible is a very strong structure, hopefully, in a good relationship that can withstand the turbulence of relationship that inevitably happens when people converge like this, the intimacy, the separation, the boredom, the excitement, the joys, the sorrows, all of that stuff, okay? Because that can put stress on a relationship. And a lot of people think that once you get married or something, then you just switch everything to autopilot and go by the book and everything will be fine. Excuse me. I wouldn't have any private readings if that's how it was. So it's well shuffled. We're going to cut. And by the way, Leo, you are probably already aware that this is kind of a special month for you. All the heavy eclipses are happening right now. The big Leo eclipses, the Leo eclipse season, all in alignment with the Leo North Node. We got the Leo new moon right at the end of July. We got the Leo new moon right at the end of August, and that's an eclipse. And in the middle, we have the big fat full moon in Aquarius. So that's a lot of Leo, Aquarius, Leo energy to be moving and carrying through to September. Anyway, let's get on with it. Here's you. That's sort of your energy. Here's a significant other, okay? And here's going deeper into you, deeper, deeper, deeper into another. And here's the relationship itself, okay? It's on the understanding that there's a significant you, a significant other, and then the relationship itself, which has an identity and structure of its own, related mostly to the crucible itself. And this is kind of the momentum of things. And we're going to look at the bottom card because that's sort of about prevailing conditions outside of the relationship that might be impacting the relationship. And you might be aware of this or not. And always, of course, try to make the best of it, whatever it is. So you have a little Two of Wands. So this is kind of an energy of opportunity, but it's also like, what are we going to do with all this? What are we going to do here? And that's kind of appropriate for you, Leo, right now, because this is a big change in life cycle here, like big chapter of life changing, because for all Leos, you're really going to feel it with the first new moon at 0 degrees and the last new moon at about 29 degrees. You're going to feel it, full broad spectrum Leo. And so, because this is really the start of the Leo North Node pattern for real for the next year and a half or so, this is like the beginning surge of this eclipse energy. So it's going to have a long trajectory, okay? So this is very, very appropriate that you've got the Two of Wands, because it can indicate that it's now the perfect time to evaluate what lies ahead. What are you going to do with yourself, your life, your world, your relationship? How are you going to manifest this new thing? Okay, let's have a look. Let's look at you. Let's have a look. Okay, so forget the gender here. This is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles has like the heart of generosity. It's like she wasn't just born with a spoon in her mouth. This is the energy of someone who understands what it's like to be, let's say, not so well off, and then having, let's say, risen through the ranks, not through fighting or war, but more through merit and worthiness, to the point where she can wear the crown and the robes with full authority. She knows what it's like to be out there in the trenches. She knows what it's like to have the luxury of home and family and beauty and bounty in her life. And she loves to share that. She's extremely good at nurturing others, okay, and including herself. So sometimes it's almost one of the challenges with the Queen of Pentacles is trying to find like an equal who is worthy of receiving her amount of generosity, her amount of resources, her amount of abundance. And also, there has to be a degree of worthiness, okay, between Leo and a significant other. Leos, it's really, really important to you. It's nothing to do with narcissism, egoism, or vanity or anything like that. It's just that you're such like your natural tendency is to put out the energy, just put it out there, radiate, be the Leo, bright, shiny, like creative, like inspiring self, where sometimes other people wish they could be you. It's a very courageous sign. It's a very bright sign. It's a very playful, loving, expressive sign. And with the Queen of Pentacles here, it might be feeling like what you might really want to do, like down the road, so to speak. In other words, to activate your talents, not just for you, but in the context of a relationship, in such a way that you can really bring your talents forward into the relationship in a way that is highly appreciated, highly valued, and in a sense of equal match. We don't know what we're going to see here in the rest of the cards right now, but it would be very, very welcome for you, Leo, to be able to relate with someone on a kind of an equal setting, so to speak, where if you're going to put in all this generosity and abundance and talent and resources, it would be nice to have something reciprocal. Okay, I mean, it's fair. It's good to have that in a nice, fair, and balanced relationship, especially if you want it to last a long time. The Pentacles cards may not be sounding that exciting or that romantic, but Pentacles indicate a lot of stability, and the Queen of Pentacles has a lot of stability here, and she understands the order of how matter works, how energy works, and how it takes time to build structure and stability and value. And she appreciates people in situations where it's very evident that there's a lot of time and compassion and love and generosity built into a situation. She would resonate with that very highly. So Leos, male or female, whatever you are watching, it doesn't matter. Forget the gender of the card. It's all about the energy of abundance and generosity of matter here. So if you're not feeling that, it's okay to want this and to wish to be that, because that would also align very closely with a personal ambition to rise up to this kind of stature, to actually be a Leo of this kind of stature. That would be pretty awesome, okay? So let's go a little bit over here and have a look at the other. What have we got? Whoa, okay. This is pretty serious stuff here, Leo. Some people actually call this a kind of a marriage card because it's like the actual process of formalizing a relationship. where instead of like, living together or dating or, just sort of going through the motions and living like the roles, so to speak, the Hierophant energy can indicate the desire or intention or ability to formalize things in a very traditional, orderly code kind of way. So when it comes to relationships, this can often be interpreted as a marriage card, okay? Almost beyond the engagement point, to the point where I don't want to just like hang out, excuse me, I want to do this thing for real. So if we personalize the card here, it could mean, Leo, that you might be in a relationship dynamic right now where the energy of marriage and formalization is quite strong, okay? You might be relating with someone who sees the relationship as a marriage type structure and would consider a marriage type structure as the ideal way for the relationship to unfold from their perspective. However, remember, Leo, this is your reading about you and your relationship, and it's not a couple's reading. It's you getting your reading from Tarot Lumination, and this is a potential significant other or up-and-coming significant other. We don't know, okay? You would know, of course, but this is a general reading for lots of Leos. So with the Hierophant energy, one of the other aspects here is that a lot of folks don't necessarily enjoy the formalization of relationships. They like the feeling that they can be fluid and move around, and you might like that too. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad here. You might really appreciate a formalization or a formal approach to having a relationship and being with someone who treats the relationship in a very, very traditional, honorable, respectful manner, where the code of the relationship itself, like the vows, for example, if you have taken vows or you're planning to take vows or you're planning to renew your vows, those vows are very, very important to the other person here, okay? You may not be quite so vested, but for them, the vows and honoring the vows and living the vows are very, very important, okay? So it's almost like woe betide if the vows are broken. So that would be a challenge, okay? So another thing about this is that with the Hierophant, because it's kind of like the energy that trumps other types of order, in other words, like, you have presidents and corporate leaders and everything, but then you have people like the Dalai Lama or the Pope, and then they just kind of wave a wand and everybody goes, oh, sorry, yes, of course, we understand. Yes, thank you very much. So the Hierophant energy is very strong. It's also it can almost be a little bit intimidating if you are one of those people who is a little bit suspicious of, like, say, highly organized religions or highly organized corporations or structures or entities or ways of behaving where there's a very, very orderly, defined, rigid code. So even though this can be very good in some ways, it can also feel a little bit stifling in case you want a little bit more generosity and freedom of movement, okay, Leo? So let's not put a bad or shadow or a bright spin on this. We're just trying to, describe some of the potential energy here in a significant other. Now let's go deeper into you, dear Leo. Here we go. Okay, this is a lovely, lovely card to have deep inside of you. I want to give you a couple of spins here. One is that if you are not feeling the Ten of Cups, we have a bit of a problem, okay? In this significant relationship, it's wonderful to have the Ten of Cups, especially if you own that inside of you, if it's bedded in your soul, like bedrock energy. So let's just stay positive. Let's just say deep inside, you, Leo, are starting to see or enjoy, or have already been enjoying and looking forward to enjoying more of a potentially solid, fulfilling, happy relationship where you could be highly valued and appreciated, and where you feel that it's worth your while to continue to invest your value, your merits, your skills, your worthiness, and be able to rule. Leo, you are very regal by nature. It's like it's like it really suits you, like having a crown and a robe like this. So you might feel very, very comfortable in this situation where all this Leo energy that's so, so strong right now is just absolutely freaking just right for you. And that can give you a warm sense of glow on the inside. Like, even though you might be actually in a very sucky relationship or situation right now, deep down there's the potential, perhaps long term, somewhere else with somebody else, for this kind of happiness where you can conduct yourself at this kind of level with dignity and respect and mastery. Okay? So the little, it's not a little, it's a big card. The Ten of Cups is a very big card of like primal happiness. It's very tangible happiness. It's the kind of happiness that you can feel in your friends and family around you, where you would love to share. It's very much a glowing type of, like, auric glow type of happiness. In other words, you don't even have to be rich. You can just simply feel rich. You can feel regal. You can feel like you're in charge and you own your life and you have some stability here in a relationship that makes it worthwhile. And so, like, the happiness can be just built in. It's almost like you could be like financially, like, really on the edges, and you're managing and you're coping okay, which in some certain states might, freak people out, but you can still conduct yourself with dignity and have a core energy of happiness anyway. You can also be extremely abundant and have all the wonders of wealth and still be happy anyway, and not have to feel guilty or judged because of that. It's okay to be wealthy. It's wonderful. It's okay to be very elevated and regal and appreciated and valued. So put these together, you have some pretty yummy energy here. And it's let's say, very, very conducive to evolving to the new upgraded version of you, because it looks like you already got a lot of the essential raw ingredients to do that and be that. And it's just a question of, like, tapping into it in the context of this relationship, okay? In other words, let's find ways to make the most of this relationship so that the long-term trajectory is good, because this is going to have a long-term trajectory simply because of the eclipses and simply because you're a Leo. Okay, let's have a look deeper inside of them. Whoa. Okay. This is the Lover's card, okay? Let's not get too carried away here. It is a love and relationship reading, and in some situations, this is the ultimate love and relationship card. And please understand that with so much, let's say, how would we call this? Like, I don't want to use the word fated. I'm thinking more like with, let's say, divine blessings. Let's say you're in a situation where it's a very, let's say, divinely ordained relationship. You see, with these major cards here, it can feel as though, like, in the other person with whom you may be relating, there is a lot of, like, fated energy happening, and you might be observing that from your perch, so to speak, in the relationship, and they are simply living their dynamics in the context of the relationship with you. And for them, they may be feeling very swept along by the fates, so to speak, or destiny, or divine guidance, or divine intervention, or even the will of heaven at the highest vibrations, where they might be feeling like, this is serious, this is the real thing, I would like to make this happen for real, to the point where I am willing to make that profound decision. Because it is a very big decision to formalize a relationship. Because when you do that in the traditional sense, where it is a binary relationship and it is not triangulated, it is not like a polygamous thing, and it's not a trivial relationship where you're just kind of doing it because, oh, my friends just got married, God, that was so fun, let's us do it too. No, this is very, very, very deeply considered type of energy, because when you make the decision, let's say it is all about a decision about deep inside of them, they're actually thinking like, maybe they're going to propose to you, or maybe they're going to renew their vows with you, and they would like to present that notion to you. And they're feeling it deep, deep inside. It may not actually be happening at this moment, but the energy of formalizing what looks to be a potentially very good relationship might be on their agenda, to the point where they're actually being swept along in it. They might be like thinking, oh my God, this is actually happening. Oh my God, wow. And then the Lover's card here would indicate like making the decision to do this, because it's a big decision. Because once you get into the context of a formalized relationship where you are literally making a decision to build and own a crucible, which is the structure of the relationship itself, in which both parties can conduct their lives together to maximize their own spiritual growth and healing and evolution, simultaneously being there for each other. It's not what can I get out of you and what are you trying to get out of me. It's none of that. It's like we are investing in each other in a very formalized way. Like it's almost like building a company, like Leo and so Inc. And we're going to do this. We're going to make it happen. But with the Lovers here, when this energy is in play, it's a big deal, because it's indicating that this is the one. And like I significant other, am ready, willing, and able to be with you, significant other. I ask that you accept me in all my warts and flaws and funny bits and all my shining wonder. And I ask you to be with me in all my warts and funny flaws, and even all my shining, most delicious, appealing delights and wonders. All of it. And both of you say, okay, we're going to do it. Now, this is their energy, okay, over here deep inside of them. So they may not be expressing this openly, but they might be feeling this deep down inside. It might be actually very intimidating, and they might not want to openly express this because the consequences are so significant. You know, formalizing a relationship to the point of marriage is a very big deal. It has big legal consequences in most countries for most people, and it is not a trivial matter, okay? So it could be that inside of them is, even though they might have all the best of intentions, because these are very, very strongly like divinely ordained types of energies, you might be with a significant other who's actually quaking in their boots about all this stuff. And you might be very happy with the whole idea. You might have even dropped a few hints that, hello, significant other, I wouldn't mind if we could like do this properly. Thank you very much. Well, sorry, I'm doing it this way. I would be delighted if we formalize things together properly. And they're going, okay, so you mean like this? And you're saying, yeah, exactly, just like that. Okay, just like that. And they're going, gulp. Oh, okay. And it's because I, Leo, have noticed that we have a good opportunity here, and I've got plans. In fact, let's do this together. And they're going, oh, okay, I trust you. And they're getting swept along into it because it looks pretty good. It looks pretty promising, and somebody has to call it out. Somebody has to drop the hint or make the proposals and do the formalization. Let's look at this, the relationship itself. Who knows? This might be a mess. So let's have a look. Okay. So let's not rush this. Okay. So if there's a lot of energy around the idea of happy relationship, and to the point where even both of you want that, even if it's not, fully or openly expressed yet, it could indicate that the marriage or the relationship itself needs some really deep, close examination before you rush into it, because there's a lot of ambition here, okay? There's a lot of far-flung, far-seeing, very wishful ambition here about what to do and how to do it, which involves making very, very important decisions, okay? Like here, making very, very important life-changing decisions that will affect both parties. and your extended family and their extended family. So the indication here is that the relationship itself needs very close examination. Okay. Now, this is your relationship reading for you, Leo, about your significant relationship with a significant other over here. So the responsibility on you, Leo, as one of the owners of this relationship dynamic, is to take some time and go deep, deep, deep within before you go charging around like just getting swept on a wave of what might appear divinely ordained energy here, because there might be other things hidden that are not yet showing in this reading. It's nothing horrific or anything like that, but it's very, very important, like, let's just say, to take a really big pause, a deep breath, and go within. And if you have to, deeply, deeply, deeply meditate on what's actually going on, because with these eclipses, they're very strong. It's like getting on a really big surf wave, and once that energy picks up, you want to stay on the wave, okay? You don't want to end up riding a wave and then suddenly crashing and then getting dumped under the wave and getting crushed and pulverized. No. So before you actually jump on the wave, please understand that the wave is on its way. It's arriving and it's starting to lift. With those new moon Leos, that energy is lifting. And with the new moon at the end of July, that's a very strong indicator of where things may be heading. But by the end of August, you're going to have a much clearer idea. So it might suggest, like here, throughout August, instead of getting overexcited about potentially things that might be quite good, it might be a really good idea to make the best of all these retrogrades that are happening in August. Okay, for example, we have Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, all retrograde. That's a big, big, serious, heavy, strong energy of reevaluate, re-examine, revise, review, refurbish, reevaluate. Did I say that one? Everything that's very deeply, significantly important in your life that you wouldn't normally pay attention to on a regular day, because a lot of those heavy planets, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are energies that can appear to just go on autopilot. But you cannot afford to go on autopilot when you're going into a very significant relationship like this. You have to go deep within and understand it and figure out what's actually going on here. Like before you buy a new car, for example, that you've never ever driven before, and it looks very weird and new and exotic, it might be an idea to get some coaching from the dealership. Like, how do I actually drive this thing? And then they, take you around for a while and get you used to things. But that's your responsibility, okay? You see all these like major arcanas here? It's very, very significant what's happening. It's like being swept along in the wave, and you don't want to become a victim of the wave. Yes, it's potentially very wonderful and infused with joy and potential and potentially great outcomes. Okay, that's wonderful. But again, you don't want to get crushed by the wave. This is very, very strong energy here. Let's say just destiny or divine intervention or the will of heaven. But again, it's your responsibility to carry that energy effectively and in a very stable way that will endure the long term, because this is all indicating long-term, deeply invested energy here from another. Okay. And it looks like it would be a really good equal match for you if this is the real deal, if you feel it's the real deal. But before you sign on the dotted line, before you walk up the aisle, before you get the mortgage and have the kids and all of that stuff, take some time out and really, really go deep within yourself. Okay, Leo? Okay. Even though this is something that you both share and own, it's your reading. So all I'm suggesting is here, go in yourself and do it. Sorry, I'm taking a long time in this reading. I thought it was going to go more quickly. With the Queen of Wands here, the way the momentum is going, it's very, very supportive of a really, really good outcome for you guys, Leo. This could almost be like a Leo type card. It's the energy of where, so long as you come out of the evaluation feeling like, yes, this is the right thing with the right person, we're just going to keep it going and make it better, then it can allow what happens is the relationship can be very, 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 very conducive to your joint ambitions, your joint goals and desires and wishes as two individuals, okay? So that's great. I want to move on very quickly now to your little oracle card. Yay, we're going to do this for fun. And you're going to have to trust in Tarot Lumination to pick the right card for you. Even if it's like a disastrous card, you can handle it because it's such strong, potentially positive energy here. So don't stress about whatever this card says. It might be a very supportive card. Who knows? Okay, let's just do it. I'm going to pull the top card in a moment, and that will be your little card. And you just have to trust in Tarot Lumination. Let's see what we've got. Okay, this is it. This is your card. And you have deception. Doopy-doopy-doo. Oh. Mysteries, mysteries, mysteries. Do you see the mask? It's just like, this could be a very, very, very beautiful dance. An amazingly elaborate and beautiful, like, movie. But is it the real thing? Let's have a look. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Oh dear. Let's have a look. I don't want to say, ha, I told you so. This was all too good to be true. Ha, 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 ha. We're not going to do that, okay? We're not going to go around popping your bubbles here. Leo, you deserve the best, okay? Let's line everything up so you can see it in its full glory. Your reading, Leo, for you. Awesome. But let's be careful here because, like I was hinting at earlier, this could almost be like so big, so too good to be true stuff. So I'm glad we've actually got a card like this. It's bringing a little bit of a reality check. Let's read for you. I'll show you the picture again. Okay, you see that? You see these beautiful masks and the beautiful romantic energy that's being exchanged? But, it says, deception, deception. Shh. This card is a loving nudge for you to beware of deception within a relationship. This could involve something mild, such as a run-of-the-mill politeness, where your partner is afraid of offending you by sharing true feelings. Perhaps you're the one wearing the mask because you aren't disclosing something to your partner. Deep down, you know what this card pertains to, Leo. The romance angels are trying to protect your heart. They're trying to protect you, Leo, because this is so awesome. You might get swept along in it, and they're just saying, take some time out, go deep within, examine yourself very carefully, examine the other very carefully. Examine the context and the potential long-term of this relationship. Please say this invocation either silently or aloud. Romance angels, I ask that you give me very clear guidance that I can easily notice and understand to reveal the truth about this situation to my conscious full awareness. Then, Leo, you notice and trust the signs that follow. In other words, listen, watch very, very carefully. This card is also a reminder to you about the importance of being genuine with your partner. Although discussing your true feelings may be uncomfortable, it will improve your relationship on many levels. Okay, let's not get too worked up about this card. All we're saying here is just pay very close attention. Please examine things very, very closely, especially during all these retrograde periods, so that you don't just accidentally jump on a big wave unprepared and then you come crashing down, okay? So let's spread it out again so it looks more cute. So that's for you, dear Leo. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful August and make the best of these eclipses. Okay, bye-bye. And the North Node, of course. Your Leo North Node. Never mind. Leo, thank you so much. Bye-bye.